Jerry, it's good to see you again today, and you're halfway through almost your master practitioner now, which is amazing, isn't it? Because when you think about it, it is incredible. People might say it was crazy that you actually started this training as soon as lockdown occurred.
I know, yeah. In fact, thinking back, I think, how did I manage to do that without actually having contact with you as my trainer?
Yes.
It was something that I wasn't really thinking about doing, and then I actually found your website, and I was quite inspired by what you'd put on your website, and then we had a conversation.
Yes, yeah.
And I was coming up to retirement age, but I felt that I didn't want to give up completely all of the things that I've learned over the years that I've been working in education. And you came along at the right time.
Good. So you decided you wanted to train people now into thinking in a better way, feeling better.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
My focus is primarily going to be on children once I've got established, but I'm now quite keen to start to work with adults as well, because I can see that a lot of the things I've learned when I was working with children actually do still relate to grown-ups as well.
Yes,
like
of course.
Why I say grown-ups.
Yes,
as
adults.
Child speak.
Yeah, but as adults, no matter what age we are, we often revert back to childhood, don't we? And particularly if we've got traumatic things that have happened, we will relate back to that, and we'll even sometimes speak as a child, won't we, in that kind of language that we might have used then. So you did remarkably well during those first parts of lockdown, that you were looking at the DVD links that we were sending you, and we were having some conversations, you were sending in your assignment work, so that was incredible. How did you feel, because I know one of your first volunteers was by Zoom, so you used Zoom.
I did most of my case studies via Zoom. Yeah.
How did you feel about not only hypnotising somebody, but actually doing it by Zoom?
I was terrified the first time, I have to admit it. The person that I was working with lived about 10 miles down the road, and I'd got this vision of her being stuck in trance and me having to get in the car and whiz up the road and bring her out of it. But it didn't work like that. In fact, apart from the usual glitches that you get with Zoom, it worked really, really well.
That's good.
It's not something that I would want to do on a regular basis,
No.
I have to say, because I knew this person very well because she was a volunteer, and I think if it had been a client that I didn't know, then I would have missed quite a lot of the things that were going on. But because I knew this person really well, I knew how she would respond and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The first time that I actually hypnotised her, I was really, really nervous because of the physical distance, I think, and also because of the fact it was the first time I'd actually hypnotised anybody apart from Robert, obviously.
Yes.
And I did feel very nervous. But once I got started, and I'd really planned it, I'd gone down to how many minutes I would spend on each of the parts that I was doing. And so because I'd planned it, and again, I think that's a teacher thing, I'd planned it so I knew exactly what I was doing. And when I brought her out of trance, what she said was amazing. She just said to me, wow. She said, I didn't expect that. And because we were friends, I think, she obviously was doing me a favour. But she said, it was amazing to feel that how she felt at that particular time.
Yes.
So that was really empowering for me as well.
And boosted your confidence. Yeah, excellent. Because I think that's the thing, you can be very nervous about it, and when you've had your confidence boosted, you think, I can do this. And the fact is that anyone can hypnotise anyone else. It's after that, isn't it? It's what you do after that, and the skills and the techniques and the interventions that you use. But to start it off right from the word go, it is very scary. I think I've realised that the one-to-one training must be the best way that you can ever be trained, because in a group, if you're with a group, you'd go off with a partner and hypnotise them. Well, you're often in a room where you can hear everybody else, and it's almost like there's a delay that they're saying exactly the same things. but also when you're working with someone else, they're not going to give you that kind of feedback. Honest feedback. They'll say, oh yeah, that was really good, because they don't want to offend you, and they want you to feel confident. But if you jump straight in or dive straight in, whatever, and think, well, yes, I do know this person, but she will be honest enough to say, well, actually, all I was doing was listening to you. But to use the words wow means that she was hypnotised and felt relaxed and comfortable. And for you, that felt really good. Yeah. So that was excellent. A good point that you really made, Jerry, was the fact of, you wouldn't want to do it by Zoom all the time. And I know lots of therapists have been doing that. I don't know whether they're still doing it, but I never have. I've never hypnotised anybody by Zoom, because I just went into that lockdown to start off with, and then waited till it lifted a little bit, and then started seeing clients, because you used a very good phrase, you can't see what's going on. And that's really important. When we've got this one-to-one, I can see your eye movements, I can see your expressions, I can see your body language, and in Zoom you can't do that. So I made a decision that I thought people were not getting good value for money if you do it by Zoom. So, and that means that people were more determined to travel to come and see me, rather than, sometimes they would ask and say, well, I'm quite a long way away from you, can you do it by Zoom? And I'd say, let's try and find someone near to you. And they say, no, I don't want to, I want to come to you. All right then, well, these are the terms and you need to come, and which is fantastic, because it's that one-to-one that's really important. So that was a good point that you made over that. And of course, having got over those first few modules and getting into it, then you start to build your confidence, don't you?
Yeah.
That's good. And here you are now doing Master Practitioner.
Yes.
Who knows where that might lead you?
I know.
Excellent.